Hello guys, my name is Kaimana Kane, and today I'm going to be giving you a book review on who was Frank Lloyd Wright. So you may not know this guy. The probability is pretty low because this guy isn't that popular, but back in his days he was actually really popular. So Frank Lloyd Wright, he's actually a really talented architect, as you may see right here. This is one of his famous houses that he designed, and it's actually designed to be built over a waterfall, and it's actually pretty cool. So he had a very creative mind. He had a just really big ideas. So, and he's whenever somebody asked him which is his best building, he said the next one. So I really like that determination, that positive ongoing energy coming out of him, because he lived a kind of sad life in his childhood. He didn't really have any friends, so it just kind of gave him the motivation to work to his very hardest. So you may be wondering what this shirt. It's a shirt that I got from the airport when I took a trip to Hawaii. So just wanted to give that information to you guys. So Frank Lloyd Wright was born on June 8th, 1867. And he was a boy from Wisconsin who loved playing with building blocks, and his mom actually tried to make him an architect by giving him building blocks, by giving his mom printed out pictures of really interesting buildings that she thought, but Frank Lloyd Wright's buildings were nothing like that. So he called his architecture organic architecture for some reason. But for some reason, I'd call it like modern architecture, beautiful architecture, or, well, maybe organic architecture is actually really good. So in 1885, he enrolls at the University of Wisconsin. In 1887, he starts working as a draftman for Joseph. So it actually says on the timeline, 1887, he starts working as a draftsman for the Chicago architect Joseph L. Silsby. So, and also he also worked for Adler and Sullivan, which is actually I think it said the most popular architect practice. And a practice for architecture is basically kind of like a business, like for MetaQuest or like iPhone or Apple. So that's what architects call it. And actually, I want to be an architect because I read this book. It was kind of my dream job because, I like to draw, and I'm really nerdy because I like math, I like to draw, and really, I think it will be a good, fun job for me, and I think it will help me, I think it will be nice for me, and I think it will do the same to others, help them give houses, and, well, this just gave me a little bit of inspiration. But sadly, when he was building one of his last buildings, it was actually a museum, I believe. He died in the progress of it, and he didn't get to see the final product. So, well, he was just a really good person. He also was a teacher who opened a school next to his house. So, being a teacher to architects, to be an architecture, worldwide famous architect, it doesn't really go along, but, I mean, Frank Lloyd Wright is, Frank Lloyd Wright. So he 1889, he marries this girl named Catherine, I think. Wait, let me find it. Let me find her last name. Catherine Lee, which is it has quotation marks and Kitty. So sometimes Frank called Catherine Kitty for some reason. I don't know why, but well, he really thought about his architecture, and as on one of the very last pages, let me try and find it. So this was on April 9th, 1959, Frank died in his sleep at the Taliesin, or however you pronounce it, West, at the age of 91, and he lived to be 91 years old. So this was just 6 months before the Solomon R. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Guggenheim. I think it's like Jewish German. I don't know. the museum was finished. So when the museum opened its doors, visitors flocked to see Frank's one-of-a-kind building. The design was eventually considered to be a remarkable work of art. So Frank Lloyd Wright on nature, and he really loved nature. There's some bullet points here that state, I believe in God, and I believe in God, only I spell it nature. Study nature, stay close to nature, it will never fail you. Buildings too are children of the earth and sun. No house should ever be on a hill or anything. It should be of the hill, belonging to it. Hill and house should live together, the happier for the other. So that last one, I didn't really get it. It sounded like broken English. So until the day he died, Frank always felt that he had more designs in his future, what he could always keep working. Whenever asked which building was his greatest, Frank always responded, the next one. So that's what I already told you guys. So 1893, he opens an architecture practice. In 1916, he actually built the Imperial Hotel, and when the Imperial Hotel is located in Japan, when the earthquake struck, it actually stood up. So he received an actual certificate from, it didn't really say, but he received a certificate from Japan saying that, like, congratulations, the Imperial Hotel stood up during the Japanese earthquake. But it just said something like that. I'm going to try to find, oh, I just passed it. So the Japan years, here's the certificate that I was talking about. And, well, he had a lot of clients, but this one actually stood out to me in this book. He actually burned down one of Frank Lloyd Wright's buildings to kill his actual family, and soon the police found him and arrested him, so that was good, so he couldn't burn any of his other buildings. It was actually, he went for attempted murder, actually, and he tried to murder his entire family. So in 1932, he wrote his own autobiography. In 1937, he had built and designed a lot of houses. Well, he didn't really build, but he designed, he kind of made it, but without actually building the physical structure of the house. In 1943, he begins building the Solomon R Museum. In 1959, he dies in Arizona and designed more than 1,100 buildings. And so when he was little, he always used to help his dad on the farm. In 1916, I actually didn't know this, but he invented Lincoln Logs, and I used to play with those all in my childhood. I was like, what if you put that there? But it always fell, so maybe I won't be the world's greatest architect. So Frank Lloyd Wright, he was a boy from Wisconsin who loved playing with his building blocks. He was a teacher who opened a school next to his house and the greatest American architect of all time. And I'll be the next one. So I hope you like my book review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And make sure to check out my more content. I'm going to be reading more of who were the creatives and what is American history. I already have a bunch of book reviews, and they're going to be uploading to you guys very soon. So this is actually my favorite book of the creatives. Well, I only read 4 of them yet. So at this time, like when this video comes out, I probably would have read all 2 of the sets, and I also have more like I have Stuart Gibbs books, not the Spy Schools because I already gave book reviews on them. I have Space Case, Spaced Out, and Waste of Space. I have some other books like I have Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I think it was 17, No Brainer. I have World War II History for Teens, and we have Napoleon Bonaparte books. We have the behind the scenes of Cobra Kai. So those are a bunch of miscellaneous books that I got for Christmas. So I'm going to be sharing them with you guys, and I hope you like these book reviews. I'll keep on publishing more, whatever you say, and just comment below if you have any questions, because I'm most likely be able to answer it. And I just really recommend you getting these books. So that's all I have to say, and we'll just have a nice day, everyone.